Tennis Weekly here, and Alexandra Eala creating more history on the tennis court. She is the first player from the Philippines to reach week 2 at a major in the Open era. And Chris, I'm not going to lie, the reaction, the buzz, the support for Eala, it's on a scale I don't think I've ever seen before.
I've never seen anything like it either. I think the amount of attention she gets, the buzz that she generates is absolutely huge. I think it's bigger than some of the top players.
Tennis fans were left stunned as Alex Eala's Wimbledon journey came to an end. Yet the biggest headlines weren't about her defeat. They were about everything she achieved along the way. Despite falling short of the title, the Filipino star captured global attention with a breakthrough performance that transformed her career almost overnight. Her remarkable run earned her a new career-high ranking, sparked celebrations among supporters around the world, and fueled growing belief that she has what it takes to become one of the sport's next elite stars. So, what happened behind the scenes that made this Wimbledon such a defining moment? And why are so many experts now convinced Alex Eala's rise is only just beginning?
Everyone, I just got off my match on center court and I am so over the moon right now. Thank you so much for your support and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Well, I think I'm trying to collect them at the moment. Of course, so many emotions and such an intense battle. So I'm really proud of how I fought and I held.
I would like to start with giving the credit to Alex. What the hell she played in the first set. She was smashing the ball and she was cleaning the line.
While many players leave Wimbledon with unforgettable memories, Alex Eala departed with something even more significant. A career-changing breakthrough that elevated her to a new personal best ranking and firmly established her as one of the brightest young talents in women's tennis. Her impressive performances on one of the sport's biggest stages earned widespread respect from fans, analysts, and fellow players, proving that she belongs among the game's rising stars and setting the stage for an exciting future.
Defending champion Iga Swiatek in straight sets to reach the last 16 at the All England Club. During her on-court interview, Eala shared how significant the achievement was for someone who grew up in the Philippines. And though ecstatic over her victory, she remains locked in as she prepares to...
It is rare for a player to exit a tournament without the trophy, yet still emerge as one of its biggest success stories. That was exactly the case for Alex Eala in London. When the updated world rankings were released, they confirmed what the crowds at the All England Club had witnessed throughout her remarkable campaign. Her outstanding Wimbledon performance had not only produced a new career-high ranking, but also signaled that she is becoming one of the most exciting names to watch in women's tennis.
What a win! Alex Eala beat Elena Rybakina in Berlin to reach the quarterfinals, arguably her best victory since Alex beat Iga Swiatek in Miami in March 2025. Alex was a deserved winner who played an exceptional match. This was not an out-of-form Rybakina. She started brilliantly, serving 6 aces in her opening 3 service games. Yet from 4-1 behind in the first set, Alex Eala produced a wonderful performance to cause a...
By that stage, Alex Eala was no longer viewed as a talented young player hoping to prove she belonged on the biggest stage. That chapter had already closed. Instead, Wimbledon became the tournament where she firmly established herself as a genuine contender with the ability to compete against the sport's best. Her performances spoke louder than any prediction, sending a clear message to the tennis world that she was no longer knocking on the door of the elite. She had already stepped through.
When a player like Alex Eala comes along, a young Filipina woman who doesn't fit the template that the sport has historically centered, the question isn't just whether she's good enough. The question is whether the people around her, the institutions around her, are paying enough attention. I think they are starting to. I think the results she has been producing have made it impossible not to pay attention, and I want to give credit where it's due. There are people inside the sport who see what she's doing.
The timing of her breakthrough made the story even more remarkable. Wimbledon has long been the tournament where careers are transformed, reputations are built, and unforgettable performances can change a player's future forever. Although Alex Eala did not lift the championship trophy, she left London with something that could prove just as valuable: a new career-high ranking of world number 28, bringing her closer than ever to the elite players she has been chasing throughout her career. For many casual fans, the headlines seemed confusing. How could a player lose in the fourth round and still celebrate one of the biggest milestones of her career? The answer lies in how professional tennis rankings work. A player's ranking is determined by consistent results over an entire season, not by the outcome of a single match. Every victory, every deep run, and every ranking point earned throughout the year contributes to a player's overall standing. By the time Alex played her final match at Wimbledon, she had already secured enough points to reach a new career best ranking. That is what made her journey so special. Her tournament ended with a defeat, but the success she achieved in the earlier rounds had already reshaped her future. Wimbledon simply became the stage where months of dedication, improvement, and perseverance finally came together. Long before television cameras focused on her every match, Alex had been quietly building one of the most impressive rises on the WTA Tour. Week after week, she competed across Europe, adjusted to different playing conditions, learned valuable lessons from every challenge, and steadily accumulated the ranking points that would eventually fuel her breakthrough.
Really exciting for Filipinos all over the world. Alex Eala making history at Wimbledon. Have you seen this?
Yes.
For someone who grew up in the Philippines and went to train with my brother and my grandfather every day after school with my ruffled socks and my light up shoes and chubby cheeks. So to her, this is everything.
You're crying.
There were no dramatic headlines after every tournament and no constant celebrations following each victory. Instead, Alex's progress was built on patience, consistency, and steady improvement, the kind of development that often goes unnoticed until one unforgettable tournament changes everything. The grass court season perfectly reflected that growth. While many young players struggle to adapt to grass because of its fast pace, low bounce, and demand for quick decision-making, Alex embraced the challenge with confidence. Every match strengthened her belief that she could compete with the very best in the world. By the time she arrived in Berlin, it was becoming clear that something special was unfolding. Her impressive performances caught the attention of respected analysts and former players who recognized her rapidly improving game. Defeating highly ranked opponents on grass is never easy, yet Alex continued attacking with confidence and forcing experienced competitors out of their comfort zones. With every victory, both her belief and her ranking continued to rise. Before long, she was climbing the rankings faster than many experts had expected. That surge proved incredibly important because it earned her one of the biggest advantages a rising player can receive: a seated position at Wimbledon. To many fans, the number beside a player's name may appear to be a small detail, but within professional tennis, it represents years of hard work, consistency, and excellence. Seeds are reserved for players who have repeatedly proven themselves among the strongest competitors on the tour, and Alex had earned that recognition through her performances.
And I think that comes down to the fact that she is from a nation where there is only one player. It is her, and she is pioneering. So I think she's getting the whole of the country excited about tennis and into tennis for the first time, probably. And I mean, what an amazing thing to see. She's such a great ambassador for the sport. And I also think the fact that she has been a Rafa baby, you know, she is from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Maybe the Spanish audience are also getting supportive of her, as well as now a global audience. But Joel, is she now even more hype?
Earning a seated position meant Alex Eala was no longer arriving at Grand Slam tournaments simply hoping to gain experience. She was stepping onto the court as a player expected to challenge the field and make a deep run. That achievement carried even greater meaning because just 1 year earlier, her Wimbledon campaign had ended in the opening round. The disappointment was undeniable, but instead of allowing that defeat to define her, she turned it into motivation. Every practice session became more focused, every setback became another lesson, and every tournament offered another opportunity to grow. Looking back, that early exit now feels less like a failure and more like the beginning of the journey that led to her breakthrough. The difficult moments strengthened her determination and helped shape the player she would become. By the time she returned to Wimbledon, she was producing some of the finest tennis of her career. Her confidence was impossible to ignore. She stepped onto the court with composure, trusted her aggressive game, moved confidently around the baseline, and embraced the biggest moments instead of shrinking from them. Those qualities immediately set her apart from many young players making their mark on the sport's biggest stage. Even so, few expected what was about to happen. Most pre-tournament discussions centered on former champions and top seeds, while Alex quietly prepared without the burden of overwhelming expectations. That combination of confidence, freedom, and determination would soon prove to be incredibly powerful.
She speaks about it. There's so much humility in her. And that's one thing that touches your heart, to achieve that.
At 21.
At 21, at a young age.
You can only imagine what she and her family had to go through, had to sacrifice in order to get to this point on a world stage like Wimbledon.
To get there? Oh my God.
Did you kind of almost see yourself?
Only a few matches into the tournament, Alex found herself facing the defending Wimbledon champion in one of the biggest tests of her career. On paper, it looked like the type of matchup where experience would eventually prevail. Her opponent had already conquered center court and understood the pressure that comes with defending a Grand Slam title. Alex, however, refused to be intimidated by reputation. From the opening points, she played with remarkable belief, attacking every rally with confidence and treating the occasion like just another opportunity to showcase her game. As the match intensified, her confidence continued to grow. When the first set tiebreak arrived, many expected the champion's experience to make the difference. Instead, Alex delivered some of the bravest tennis of her career, claiming the set and dramatically shifting the atmosphere inside the stadium. Rather than responding with caution in the second set, she raised her level even higher. She continued striking the ball with authority, controlled rallies from both wings, and applied relentless pressure against one of the most accomplished players in the sport. Before long, one of the tournament's most unforgettable upsets had become a reality, and the tennis world was left in disbelief.
Alex just made history. I don't think we're just celebrating a tennis match today. I think we're celebrating what happens when someone refuses to stop believing in a dream. She beat Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon, so happy, and became the first Filipino ever to reach a fourth round of a Grand Slam. Think about that. Not because she won Wimbledon, not yet anyway, but because she showed an entire nation that maybe, just maybe, we belong on the biggest stages too. What got me the most wasn't even the match, although the match was incredible.
The impact of that stunning victory extended far beyond the grounds of Wimbledon. Across the Philippines, fans celebrated a historic achievement as social media filled with messages from supporters, former players, journalists, and public figures recognizing the significance of what Alex Eala had accomplished. She had become the first Filipina in the Open era to reach the fourth round at Wimbledon, and she did so by defeating the reigning champion on one of the most iconic courts in tennis. Achievements like that do more than add another win to a player's record. They transform the way the tennis world sees them. Opponents begin preparing differently. Coaches study every aspect of their game, and expectations rise to an entirely new level. Despite the magnitude of the moment, Alex remained grounded. She thanked the crowd, smiled through the emotion, and displayed the humility that has become one of her defining characteristics. While fans admired her outstanding tennis, they were equally inspired by her grace and authenticity. As she walked off center court to a standing ovation, Many spectators realized they had witnessed more than just a memorable upset. They had watched the arrival of a rising star whose story had only just begun. From that moment forward, the conversation changed. The question was no longer whether Alex Eala belonged among the world's best. It became just how high she could climb.
With this win, Alex Eala cemented her seeding position at Wimbledon in 10 days' time. She will definitely be seeded 29th or 30th at Wimbledon when the seedings are released next Monday, the 22nd of June. Her world ranking has risen provisionally to 31st in the world with a current total of 1470 points. So what were the key reasons for this victory? Number one, Alex Eala's bravery throughout the match. To beat any top player, you need to believe in your own.
That question followed Alex Eala into the second week of Wimbledon, where the challenge became even greater. Producing one breakthrough victory is impressive, but proving it against another world-class opponent is what truly separates rising stars from unforgettable stories. Tennis history is filled with players who pulled off a stunning upset, only to fall in the very next round. The sport has a way of testing whether success is sustainable or simply a brief flash of brilliance. Alex's next opponent was Jasmine Paolini, one of the WTA Tour's most experienced and consistent competitors, known for her composure and success on the biggest stages. From the opening games, Alex matched Paolini's intensity with fearless shot-making and unwavering determination. Every game was fiercely contested, and each set reflected the confidence she had built throughout the season. She refused to play defensively, continued attacking with conviction, and never allowed the occasion to overwhelm her. Although the match ultimately ended in a 3-set defeat, the scoreboard reflected a genuine battle rather than a one-sided contest, showing that Alex could compete with the very best over the course of an entire match.
I wondered that you mentioned there about making errors maybe that you wouldn't have done normally. Just wondered how much that was like what she was doing on the other side, or if you think that was just kind of one of those days.
No, I wouldn't say I wouldn't make them normally, because I remember clear last 2 matches against her and same mistakes happen. So I guess it's something to work on, even though maybe the top players play super fast and serve fast, you also...
Paolini had to fight for every point, and there were several moments when the momentum could have shifted in either direction. By the time the players met at the net for the final handshake, one thing had become undeniable. Alex Eala had done far more than surprise a single elite opponent. Throughout Wimbledon, she proved that she belonged among the world's top competitors. That distinction carried enormous significance because the tennis world rarely accepts sudden success without consistent evidence. Fans, analysts, and fellow professionals all want to see whether a breakthrough can be repeated, and Wimbledon provided exactly that proof. Alex defeated a reigning champion, pushed another top player to the limit, and handled the pressure of global attention with remarkable maturity and confidence. Rather than feeling like a fortunate run, her performance looked like the natural progression of a player who had been steadily building toward this moment. Her impressive results earned enough ranking points to move her beyond her previous career best, bringing her closer than ever to the highest level of women's tennis. The reaction from fans was immediate across social media. Discussions quickly moved beyond celebrating her new ranking and focused on an even bigger question. Many supporters believed Alex was already playing at a level well above her official ranking, pointing to her fearless performances, her composure under pressure, and the remarkable improvement she had shown throughout the season. Before long, conversations about her becoming a future top 10 player were everywhere.
Reeling first set was an amazing win. What got me was her interview afterward. She was crying as she talked about being a little girl from the Philippines who used to dream of playing in a Grand Slam. Just imagine that little girl. She wasn't born in a country known for producing Grand Slam champions, and she didn't grow up surrounded by tennis history. We didn't have that in the Philippines, but she dreamed anyway. And today, she's living inside that dream. Sometimes we think our background determines our future, that because
Some fans even predicted that if Alex continues progressing at this pace, A place inside the world's top 20 could arrive much sooner than anyone originally expected. While rankings can never be guaranteed and women's tennis remains fiercely competitive, the growing optimism surrounding her reflects just how dramatically opinions have changed over the past few months. Perhaps the clearest sign of her rising influence extends far beyond the rankings themselves. Wherever Alex competes, attention follows. Larger crowds gather to watch her matches. Media coverage continues to expand, and more young players are beginning to view her as a source of inspiration. She is attracting not only dedicated tennis fans, but also countless new viewers who are discovering the sport through her remarkable journey. That ability to inspire and bring new audiences to tennis is incredibly valuable and highlights her growing impact on the game. Yet despite everything she achieved, it does not feel like the conclusion of her story. Instead, Wimbledon appears to be the beginning of something much bigger. Alex Eala arrived in London hoping to take another step forward in her career. She left as world number 28, one of the most talked about players in women's tennis, and a rising star whose future has never looked more promising.